The Bat is a 1959 film starring Vincent Price, which is based on the play of the same name from 1920, which was based on a book written in 1908. The play itself was also adapted into another film titled The Bat in 1926. The director of that film remade his own movie in 1930 titled The Bat Whispers, and that movie was a major influence on the Batman comic book. So, yeah, this has a ton of history, and the 1959 version is the most recent adaptation. We'll see if it gets done again, because this is a very intriguing story with a very effective comedic element and good characters, a solid entry from the Mill Creek box set. The story does go all over the place, but I never felt too confused or lost. It gives the proper amount of time to develop the plot, and I really enjoyed all the different characters, even though I'd sometimes be overwhelmed by the amount of individuals on screen. It has a bit of a misleading title. There are bats in the film, but the villain himself is neither a bat or dressed like a bat. But in any case, it works. This is also the third movie I reviewed now that involves bats in the title, the other being the vampire bat, and the other one being the devil bat. Thanks to Dracula, bats became a mainstream phenomenon. Vincent Price is excellent in the role. It's pretty hard to judge him harshly in any flick because he just always delivers outstanding work no matter how silly the material can be. The other actors do fine enough jobs as well, even though some can show up so briefly yet be focal points to the story. It's about a scam to embezzle $1 million from a local bank. When John Fleming reveals his plan to his doctor on an annual hunting trip, the doctor takes advantage of a local forest fire and kills Fleming in hopes to get the money. I figured this was one of those movies where the villain was revealed too early, which a ton of these box set films have done, but surprisingly, there's quite a few turns that happen. There's a bit of a haunted house aspect going on. The mysterious bat character is attacking while the residents are in fear. It gets pretty suspenseful and relies on pure atmosphere rather than jump scares. I'm not saying it's moody or dark, but it has a strange tone that feels relatable, almost realistic. The villain does actually use rabid bats to attack the victims, which is a cheesy idea, but I think everything leading up to it actually makes it believable. And the victims are not just stereotypes of the time, they actually have somewhat differing personalities. It's not groundbreaking, but it's better than what I've seen from other films. There's quite a few characters, which makes for a ton of twists and turns and fake-outs. It was actually pretty fun trying to figure out who the true culprit was, almost like a classic mystery. There are a few problems here and there, though. I'm not a big fan of the cinematography. For 1959, I was expecting better. The blocking is set up like a stage play, which I know the movie was based on a play, but the camera can be better utilized in a year where North by Northwest was released. And as I brought up before, there are a lot of characters, almost too much. One of the most important characters only shows up at the beginning of the film. I had to rewind to find out he was one of the main suspects in the ongoing investigation. Unless you're really paying attention, you'll miss it. And due to the somewhat low quality image, I had a problem distinguishing the look of each character, so while they did have separate personalities, there wasn't a clear way to figure out who was who, especially when all the women and men looked the same. In the end, it's no masterpiece, but it's an enjoyable, surprising thriller that features the always talented Vincent Price. With a runtime of 80 minutes, it's a fun way to pass the time. Thanks for watching the video. A special thanks to Ryan for supporting me on Patreon. If you'd like to join him and get early access to certain videos and have your name stamped on the end of videos and even request reviews monthly, then please click on the Patreon link, and thanks for the support.